Have you ever wondered why loneliness feels heavier as we grow older? Why silence, once peaceful, can suddenly feel like an empty room echoing with memories? What if loneliness wasn't a burden, but a teacher? Many people believe suffering comes from being alone, but Buddhism teaches something profound. Suffering comes from how we relate to that aloneness. When we fear solitude, we run from it. When we understand it, we transform it. This video is about embracing the later chapters of life, not with sadness or regret, but with dignity, peace, and inner freedom. Buddhist wisdom teaches that old age is not the season of loss, it is the season of awakening. If the body slows down, the heart can deepen. If others leave, wisdom arrives. So today, let us explore how loneliness can become a doorway to meaning, compassion, and inner joy. 1. Understanding loneliness through Buddhist eyes. In Buddhism, everything that arises does so for a reason. Nothing happens randomly, not even loneliness. When a person reaches an older age, the world around them begins to change. Children grow up, friends move on or pass away. The body becomes quieter, and the mind becomes more reflective. Modern society often views this as a loss, but Buddhism views it as a transition. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering is attachment, clinging to what once was, resisting what now is. Loneliness grows stronger when we compare our present to our past. We feel pain when the mind says, "I used to be needed, I used to be busy, I used to be surrounded by others." But the teaching of impermanence reminds us everything changes, everything transforms. Impermanence does not mean loss, it means flow. Life is a river. Each chapter carries its own beauty. When older adults feel lonely, what they may truly be feeling is a longing to be seen, understood, or remembered. Buddhism responds with a soft but powerful truth. You can never be lonely if you learn to be at home with yourself. Loneliness is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you are ready to reconnect with your inner life. Instead of trying to fill emptiness from the outside through people or activities, Buddhist practice invites us to look inward and ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? The Buddha encouraged observing emotions without judgment. When loneliness arises, instead of saying, "I am lonely," one can say, "Loneliness is present in my awareness." This subtle shift turns the emotion into an experience, not an identity. The pain weakens. Loneliness becomes an opportunity to develop clarity, presence, and self-love. The elderly monk Ajahn Chah said, "Solitude is not the absence of people, it is the presence of peace." When we stop resisting loneliness and listen to it gently, it reveals hidden insights. What truly matters, what is no longer needed, what we have carried for too long, what we are finally ready to release. In this acceptance, loneliness becomes something else, a sanctuary. 2. From loneliness to connection. The practice of mindful presence. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the greatest companion we will ever have lives within us, our own awareness. Loneliness disappears not because people arrive, but because we stop abandoning ourselves. One powerful method for transforming loneliness is mindfulness, which means being fully present with whatever arises. It is not an escape from reality, it is a loving embrace of reality. Here is a simple practice. Sit comfortably. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe slowly. Silently say, "In this moment, I am here for myself." This gentle practice sends a message to your nervous system. You are safe. You are supported. You are enough. When older adults practice mindful breathing, their thoughts settle. The wandering mind stops chasing the past and worrying about the future. You begin to notice the subtle blessings around you, birds singing, the sensation of air moving in and out of your lungs, the warmth of sunlight. Loneliness fades because presence enters. Another Buddhist teaching is the power of loving kindness, metta. Metta transforms isolation into connection, even without another person around. Repeat slowly within your heart, "May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I feel loved. May I be free from loneliness." The heart softens. The mind opens. What was once a feeling of emptiness becomes a space of tenderness. When this kindness grows within you, something miraculous happens. You begin naturally extending it to others. You smile more, you listen more, you radiate calmness. People feel safe around such energy, and connections begin to form, not through effort, but through presence. Loneliness cannot survive in the presence of true awareness. Remember this: you do not overcome loneliness by adding people to your life. You overcome loneliness by adding presence to your life. 3. Cultivating joy in solitude, the Buddhist path to inner contentment. Loneliness becomes painful when we believe that our happiness depends on others. Yet Buddhism teaches that true joy arises from within, independent of circumstances. Solitude is not an empty space to be feared. It is a sacred space where the heart rediscovers itself. When we are younger, joy often comes from achievements, relationships, or recognition. But as age progresses, life invites a new kind of happiness. Quiet happiness, found not in what we gain, but in what we release. Joy in solitude begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why am I alone?" we gently ask, "What is this moment offering me?" In Buddhist teachings, solitude is fertile ground for wisdom. When the noise of the world fades, we hear the whispers of our own heart. We reconnect with forgotten dreams, small passions, and simple pleasures, like watching the sunrise or enjoying a warm cup of tea. These moments teach us that peace does not need an audience. One powerful practice to cultivate joy in solitude is mindful appreciation. Each day, choose one small moment and truly savor it. It could be feeling the softness of your pillow when you wake up, being grateful for the body that carried you through decades, appreciating the taste of food without distraction. Say silently to yourself, "This moment is enough." Gratitude opens the heart. It transforms ordinary moments into gifts. Another Buddhist approach to joy is letting go of comparison. Comparison steals gratitude. It convinces the mind that happiness is always somewhere else, some past memory or imagined future. but joy exists only in the present. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." When we stop measuring ourselves by roles, parent, worker, caretaker, we discover our deeper identity, a being capable of wisdom, compassion, and presence. Solitude gives space for that discovery. Elders in Buddhist monasteries are cherished because they embody a quiet strength. They have learned that life's real treasures are not wealth, status, or busyness, but clarity, patience, and simplicity. When a person sits alone with peace, they become radiant. Their presence becomes medicine for others. Here is a truth worth remembering. Loneliness ends where self-connection begins. You do not need to wait for someone to fill your time or your heart. You can fill it yourself, with breath, with gratitude, with gentle awareness. In solitude, you are not empty, you are spacious, and in that spaciousness, joy naturally blooms. 4. Reconnecting with others through compassionate action. Loneliness often feels like a wall separating us from the world. We may wait for others to reach out first, but Buddhism teaches a surprising truth. Connection grows when we offer ourselves to others, not when we wait to be chosen. Compassionate action is one of the most powerful antidotes to loneliness. Not because it brings applause or recognition, but because service reconnects us to our sense of purpose. When we offer kindness, we remember that we have something valuable to give, regardless of age, health, or circumstances. In Buddhism, compassion is called karuna, and loving kindness is metta. Together, they form a bridge from isolation to connection. You do not need to change the world. You only need to touch one heart. Here are 3 gentle, powerful Buddhist principles to open the door to connection again. 1. Give without expecting. In old age, many people feel invisible, like their contributions no longer matter. But aging does not remove value, it reveals wisdom. One smile, one listening ear, one kind word can change someone's entire day. Next time you interact with someone, whether a family member, neighbor, or stranger, practice giving without expectation. Offer a sincere compliment. Share a story from your life. Say, "How are you today?" and mean it. Buddhism teaches that when we give freely, the heart expands. The Buddha said, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your own path. Connection is created not by being surrounded by people, but by allowing your heart to be open. 2. Step into the present moment with others. Sometimes older adults feel disconnected, not because there are no people around, but because the mind stays in the past. Memories are precious, but when we live exclusively in them, we disconnect from the world in front of us. Buddhist mindfulness teaches us how to show up fully when interacting. When someone speaks, listen without planning how to respond. Look at their eyes, feel the warmth of the moment. Let the mind say, "This person is here with me. This moment is alive." Connection begins with simple presence. 3. Join or create small circles of community. In Buddhist monasteries, elders are anchors of community. They guide by presence more than words. You don't need to join a monastery, but you can create your own circle of presence. This could be a weekly tea gathering with one friend, attending a meditation group, senior center activity, or book club, volunteering a few hours a week at a local charity or temple, teaching younger people something you know, cooking, gardening, wisdom. Community does not require many people. Community requires consistency. Even a single meaningful connection nourishes the heart far more than 10 superficial ones. Remember, loneliness is not being alone. Loneliness is feeling that you don't matter. When you take action to care for others, you prove to yourself that you do matter. The power of compassionate attention. True connection is not built by talking, but by noticing. When you give someone your presence, your full attention, you show them they are worthy. And in that act, loneliness loosens its grip. Buddhist monks say, the greatest gift is to make someone feel seen. In old age, connection often happens not through doing, but through being gentle, being present, being kind. Compassion is a circle. When you offer compassion, 3 things happen simultaneously. The other person receives kindness. Your heart expands. Loneliness dissolves. You do not need to be perfect to give compassion. You only need to be present. Every moment of connection becomes a moment of healing, not just for others, but for yourself. 5. Letting go of past attachments and emotional burdens. Loneliness in old age is often felt most deeply in the mind, not in the heart. It is not always caused by the absence of people, but by the presence of unresolved emotions, memories, regrets, attachments, and unspoken goodbyes. Buddhism teaches that the greatest suffering comes not from what is happening to us now, but from what we continue to carry from the past. The Buddha compared emotional attachment to holding a hot coal. Even if our intention is to eventually throw it, we are burned the entire time we cling to it. Letting go is an act of kindness toward ourselves. Throughout life, we accumulate identities: parent, spouse, worker, provider, caretaker. We build our worth around how useful we are to others. But as children become independent, as careers end, as responsibilities shift, we may feel stripped of identity or purpose. It can be painful, but Buddhism invites a different view. Old age is not a loss of identity. It is the revealing of our true identity, which is independent of roles and external validation. The person you are is not defined by what you have done for others. You exist beyond roles. You have worth simply because you are a living, aware being. Letting go is not forgetting the past or erasing memories. It is releasing the emotional weight attached to them. The Buddha taught impermanence. All conditioned things are subject to change. This isn't a warning, but a form of liberation. When we acknowledge that every experience, pleasant or painful, arises and passes away, we stop trying to hold life still. When we stop gripping the river, the current carries us gently. To let go, we must first accept that the past cannot be rewritten. Many older adults silently carry guilt for decisions they made, things they didn't say, times they wish they had acted differently. Buddhism teaches self-forgiveness as a spiritual discipline. Just as we would comfort a friend who suffers, we must speak to ourselves with compassion. I did the best I could with the wisdom I had at the time. When we soften toward ourselves, loneliness loosens its grip, Because much loneliness is rooted in self-judgment. Forgiving others is equally powerful. The Buddha taught that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting another to suffer. Holding grudges harms only the one who holds them. When we forgive, we are freeing ourselves, not excusing the actions of another. Forgiveness is letting the heart rest. Letting go also means making space for the present. When the past takes up too much room, the present cannot breathe. Many older individuals spend hours replaying memories, viewing them like films that cannot change. The more we watch those memories, the more we live in what is gone. Buddhist practice gently redirects the mind toward what remains, this breath, this moment, this opportunity to grow spiritually. Even now, new joys are possible. Letting go creates peace. When emotional burdens fall away, the heart becomes light again. We begin to see the beauty of life as it is, not as it used to be. In letting go of who we were, we discover who we are. The past is not your prison. It is your teacher. And your freedom begins the moment you stop carrying what is too heavy. 6. Building a life of meaning, peace, and spiritual fulfillment. Once emotional burdens have been released, something remarkable appears. Space. Space for meaning, peace, and a new way of living. Old age, according to Buddhist wisdom, is not the fading of life. It is the ripening of life. The fruit is not at its sweetest when the tree is young, but when it has had time to grow, endure storms, and gather sunlight. You are in the season of ripeness. Many people fear loneliness because they believe purpose disappears with age. But purpose does not live in busyness. Purpose lives in presence. Buddhism emphasizes inner purpose, being rather than doing. When one stops trying to be valuable through activity, one becomes valuable through presence. Even sitting quietly in a room can radiate peace when the mind is settled and the heart is open. A meaningful life begins with a daily ritual of stillness. It could be as simple as sitting for 5 minutes every morning, focusing on the breath and repeating a single phrase such as, "I am here." These small rituals nourish the spirit, much like water nourishes a plant. The more we return to inner stillness, the more peace becomes our natural state. Another powerful source of meaning is sharing wisdom. Younger generations are overwhelmed by information, but starving for guidance. They do not need perfect answers. They need your presence and your life experience. Sharing stories, offering gentle advice, or simply listening without judgment can plant seeds of clarity in someone else's life. When you share wisdom, you continue to exist in the lives of others, even when you are not physically present. Gratitude also plays a transformative role. The Buddha taught that a grateful mind is a peaceful mind. When we begin appreciating small details, warm sunlight, a familiar cup of tea, the sensation of breathing, life becomes rich even without external achievement. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings. Another key to fulfillment is connection through kindness. You don't need to be surrounded by many people. You only need to connect meaningfully with those who cross your path. A kind word, a patient smile, a moment of eye contact. These are not small gestures. They are spiritual offerings. When you offer warmth, you become warmth. Life reflects what you give. The deepest fulfillment arises from accepting life as it unfolds. In Buddhism, fulfillment means living without resistance. When we stop trying to change what is unchangeable and begin embracing each moment, we discover freedom, not the freedom of youth, running, striving, achieving, but the freedom of the awakened heart. You are entering a sacred time in your life, a time for reflection, wisdom, and peace. The world needs the softness you have earned through experience. You are not at the end, you are at the point of becoming. Loneliness in old age is not a punishment. It is an invitation, a chance to return home to yourself. Through Buddhist wisdom, we learn that peace is not found in the presence of others, but in the presence of our own heart. You are not defined by who has stayed or who has left. You are defined by the kindness, wisdom, and compassion you carry within. If this message touched you, remember you are not alone on this journey. We walk it together, gently, mindfully. For more guided teachings like this, subscribe to Mindfulness and continue your path toward inner peace.